Hi, I'm Steve Saunders. I'm the founder of Light Reading. I'm here in Barcelona at Mobile World Congress with my friend Axel Klauberg from Deutsche Telekom. I always get tripped over your title because it's so long. It's like a scroll. It's VP of Aggregation. Let me see if I can get it right. Aggregation, Transport, IP, and Fixed Access.
Right.
Yeah. Everything except everything except 5G. I'm sure that'll be there next year, but when it's ready. So. How is it going here? You had a big announcement. Tell us what's going on.
Great event yesterday. So we had our telco virtualization event, actually bringing the virtualization strategy to life now and launching the first products actually yesterday in 3 countries.
So first available services.
The first available services to our customers, indeed.
So this is what we've known at Light Reading and Heavy Reading as TerraStream, but I guess that's the architecture which underlies this?
You're absolutely right. TerraStream is the underlying architecture, and we're producing services on top.
Okay, and how long did it take you to work on TerraStream before you were able to make this announcement and actually roll this out as a commercial deployment?
Well, TerraStream by itself, the development started actually in 2011, actually shortly before I joined DT.
Okay.
Now the interesting part is this virtualization work, or the cloudification work, as I should say more exactly, that actually enables a new way of working within telecom. So the Cloud VPN product, for example, we launched yesterday. It just took us 6 months from the decision to bring it actually to market.
Now, is that based on NFV or SDN or both?
Actually both.
Okay.
It's for me, it's a nice application where both come together. And VPN services by itself don't seem to be too fancy in the industry. Let's face it, VPNs are available since a long time. But actually customers are demanding more control about their VPN. They want to be able to, for example, configure VPN endpoints on the fly, change bandwidth, prioritization, add security filtering, virus protection, things like that.
And what's the big benefit here of virtualization? That they can do that, or that they can do it themselves?
They can do it themselves.
Right.
And so self-service is an important aspect of this new service.
Right.
And it's enabled through the virtualized production platform.
Is this actually the first sort of commercially available cloudification service out there? Or are you aware of others? What's going on in Asia versus Europe? Is Europe further ahead of the rest of the world?
Well, I wouldn't say Europe is further ahead to the rest of the world. We see, well, many operators are still in proof of concept stage.
Right.
And you now see the first products actually being launched to the market.
Right. Now, there's a big debate going on amongst our sort of core audience, which is large operators, about whether the biggest benefit of virtualization, cloudification as you call it, which I think is a great term, is saving money or making money. What do you think? I mean, is it a bit of both? Because obviously people want to cut the cost of CapEx and OpEx, but at the same time, certainly in North America, everybody's very concerned about monetizing digital content-based services. So where do you think that the real benefit lies?
I think it's a bit a mix of both. And indeed, for us, the agility is a key factor. That we are able to act faster on our customer requirements and be faster to the market. Because in the old days, operator market lead times were between a year and maybe 2 years for mass market products, and now this is going to weeks instead of years.
That is extraordinary, really, isn't it? When you think about the challenges which used to be involved in developing a new service.
Right, and it's moving to a similar model like what we saw from the internet companies, a DevOps model as well, developing these things together with the vendors we're working with and bring this to market.
So where is this commercial service available now?
We launched the Cloud VPN service yesterday in Slovakia, Hungary, and Croatia.
Okay.
So Croatia was also the pilot country for TerraStream, and this is sure a pilot to also find out how the market is reacting to such a service, but it will definitely be extended to more countries.
Was there any particular reason why you chose that area of the world?
Well, we have also launched our pan-European network yesterday, and this product is actually first proof that the concept and the new prioritization model is actually working.
Right. What was the single biggest challenge to getting all of this done, apart from the fact that you had to live on a plane and go around the world and tell everybody about it?
I think timing is indeed a challenge. So around a year ago, Claudia, our board member responsible for technology and for the European business, she set that challenge for us. Show it next year during Mobile World Congress that you can deliver a product on this platform.
Wow.
And
here we are.
So there was a decision on the vendor in summer, and then it was joint development with the vendor. So as usual in a development cycle, it's quite stressy over the last days.
And the vendor was Cisco, I assume?
The vendor for the Cloud VPN product initially is Cisco. Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, we've just completed the first sort of independent validation of their cloud solution. So at the same time as you're rolling it out, we're also doing we did a laboratory test which showed that it was really real and put it through its paces. So it's a very exciting time for them as well. So timing was a challenge, but no technology hurdles. What about things like standards for virtualization? Because there seems to be quite a lot of confusion about that right now.
Well, I think we're seeing an inflation of standards organization looking into topics like NFV, looking into topics like SDN, and this is also causing a pain for us because it would create a very high demand.
Yeah, you'd need your own division to send everybody to all of them, wouldn't you? I mean, it's almost absurd.
So I see software-defined networking that's definitely driven out of the Open Networking Foundation. We see definitely Etsy NFV in the picture, but let's face it, we need to build this. And when you look at how internet companies are addressing this, they are not going into a standards organization and agree on complex interfaces before they build it, but they go ahead and implement it, learn in the implementation process, and then bring things also into standardization. And that is actually the way forward also for us.
Okay, but which standards bodies should ultimately be the ultimate arbiter of the standards, do you think? Shouldn't there be one? I mean, wouldn't that be best for the world if there was one organization?
I don't believe that would ever happen. So I definitely see the Internet Engineering Task Force playing a key role, for example, also with Yang data models here. I see the Open Networking Foundation in the SDN space, but also organizations like the Metro Ethernet Forum, for example, are playing a key role. When you look at this strategy on lifecycle service orchestration, that's exactly what we're doing here, bringing SDN and NFV together and bringing it into the market.
Yeah, so I mean, when I was back in the 90s and late 80s, I mean, when I was a journalist, I lived through the whole 100 VG, FDDI, 100 base T war, and I thought that was complicated. That's how I made my name as a journalist, and broke some stories around that. This is a lot more complicated than that, and that story ended well. But to get there, a lot of people's feelings got hurt, and a lot of companies went out of business. You don't think there's a risk that this is going to happen again? I mean, I just worry that this is actually going to be N times more problematic for the end user, the service provider, or even their customer, when you think how many people are now involved in creating this virtual universe that we're all living in.
Sure, it's a major transformation the industry is going through. And there will be changes on the vendor side. You see some interesting acquisition announcements also during Mobile World Congress happening. I would expect actually something similar to happen, what happened in the FDDI, ATM, Ethernet world in the 80s and 90s. The most simple technology will win. And the most simple approach will win, and that led to the dominance of IP today. And I'm quite sure it will also lead to the most simple cloud production platform moving forward.
And we at Light Reading we talk about new IP as opposed to old IP, sort of an upskilled IP. And I think you believe in that vision, don't you? I mean, you're really
definitely.
An evangelist
I think it
for that.
Perfectly describes the approach we are taking, combining a drastically simplified IP with what we call the infrastructure cloud, so that tight combination of data centers and the IP network where we are producing network functions, virtualized network functions, combined with a new way of controlling the network. So that's for me the new IP, and it perfectly hits the point.
Why are you so excited personally about it? Because you've really been on the road, haven't you? You spoke at our big telecom event last year, you're coming back this year to give us the update. What is it that drives Axel, Mr. Virtualization?
Sure, I love the technology, but I also love to see how it's impacting our customers, especially our customers' experience. And it's bringing the two technology areas I love together, which is on one side data center operating systems, everything around that, on the other side is networking, so that's a classical match here for me.
It's nice to be part of a revolution as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah, well, unless you lose your head as part of that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hopefully that won't happen. So Axel Klauberg, who's been a great friend to Light Reading, he's going to be back in Chicago for our BTE show this year. Axel, it's been a real pleasure, and congratulations on the service rollout.
Thanks, Steve.
Really nice to see you. Thank you.